You know, you would think in today's day and age that human rights would trump everything. Human rights should trump everything. Yet Senate Bill 2814, though it has no written language tied to human rights, is all about human rights and infringing on those human rights. You see, SB 2814, the Big Five African Trophies Act that's currently on the Senate floor of the legislative process in the state of New York, is seeking to ban the import of African elephant, lion, leopard, white and black rhino, and giraffe. Doesn't have any language about human rights. But what that bill is going to do is take away the right of people halfway around the world to decide how to manage their wildlife. The state of New York is saying, we know better. I wonder if Todd Kaminsky's constituents that know that he is a proponent of this knows that he's taking away the rights of humans all across Africa. And not just humans, not people who live in fancy urban sprawls like New York, but people who have no electricity, no running water, no nothing. And he's saying, no. I know better. I know better. So you don't. You do not. You asked the question to your subcommittee, who's in favor of moving this forward? And 2 said no. And your response was, a vote no is a vote for big game poaching. Okay, so let's flip the question. Those of you that voted yes out of the committee, and those of you that are going to vote yes on the Senate floor, what are you actually saying yes to? Number 1, you're saying yes to the degradation of human rights of rural Africans all across Africa, Namibia, Botswana, Mozambique, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Tanzania, and you're saying no. You are not allowed to utilize your wildlife the way that you deem fit. Number 2, you're saying that the value of that wildlife actually is 0. Because these areas, if photographic tourism was going to come into these areas, it would have come in already. So you are giving the value of wildlife this much. And what happens when you give wildlife no value? An alternative land use must take over. Wildlife pays right now. You're saying wildlife has no value. So something else will take over, i.e. something that does not value wildlife, agriculture, poaching. Oh, you thought a no was big game poaching, Todd Kaminsky? Your yes vote is actually saying we are encouraging poaching. Remember, poaching and hunting are not the same thing. It's akin to you saying that shopping and shoplifting are the same thing. To the senators of the state of New York, and hopefully one of you sees this message and maybe pushes it across to others, a yes vote on this act is essentially a big old middle finger to hundreds of thousands of Africans and their ability to sustainably utilize a resource that is actually theirs. It's incomprehensible that something like this, something that is violating human rights, is actually being voted on in a country that's halfway around the world from where the actual resource being utilized actually lives. If you're hearing this message, I need you to share it. I need you to share it as far and as wide as you possibly can. Because that's the way that we're going to reach people and we're going to make them hear what the implications of something like this actually does. We appreciate the support. You need to keep sharing the content and keep educating yourself about what actually these bills are doing. Stay strong, share the message, touch those senators, and let's get our voice heard.